the offensive role. You guys had the ball. Did that have to do with the way San Jose set up with their man marking system, or is that just kind of how the game played and Kim found himself on the ball?
We worked on Kim Keehee getting forward and Gustav dropping back in to play center back. When they pair up with everybody, there's one spot that's open. Cummings was the guy that always played almost as a sweeper. He didn't really pair up with anyone, so Hösen had 2 for 1. I wanted to draw him to the left side and then bring the ball, and hopefully, Kim would be able to find some space to bring the ball forward, which would start a chain reaction. The next guy has to come forward, then we find that guy. Whoever comes to put pressure on Kim has to release from their man, and we were trying to get an advantage in that situation.
Jeremiah, I see you too.
Yeah, it looked like the first 17 minutes or so you guys started well, and then from then on until about Rodriguez's injury, it looked like the wheels were kind of slowly coming off until the corrected it there. What was the change, and kind of how did you flip it back around?
Well, first 17 minutes, we played Nico as a false 9, Christian, Jordan out on the right, in order to draw Youngsworth to get him out of position. So Nico would start there next to him, drop into midfield, and Jordan was trying to create or get into that space that we created. It was also a space for Christian Roldan to run into. We had worked on that during the week. It worked, I would say, okay. Wasn't great. I don't think Jordan got enough of the ball. I'll have to look at the tape, but that was the intention. When we switched at halftime back to Jordan in his more natural position, I wanted him to do the same thing. Start on Youngworth and then go across to Cummings to, again, try and draw him out. When we went down 2-0, I think the guys had a good response. I think Harry came on and kind of sparked the team. So, I think it was a combination of, some tactical stuff that we tried to accomplish during the week, which works against that team. But, it obviously wasn't enough because we gave away, again, 2 soft goals.
Jada, did I see you?
As far as the response to LA, how do you kind of evaluate this?
The effort out of that group tonight was very, very good. The effort out of that group was very, very good because you go down 2-0. It's an unorthodox team. They're tired. Some of the guys out there were tired, and they were able to persevere and score 2 goals, 2 very good goals, and had a chance. Again, I got to look at some of those chances, but, we had a chance to win the game, and that's all I can ask of the team.
Scratch.
Harry was in for the spark for this. Now, 2 games in a row with a goal. Your thoughts on his performance and stepping up?
Well, he came on and did well. We were, again, trying to manage rotation because that was the first time Harry played 90 minutes in a while. So Handwalla comes on, and I thought Handwalla did well. So credit to some of the guys who haven't found consistent minutes to come on and make a difference.
Moss?
Yeah, Brian, I know you don't have to comment on the other team, but was there some intentionality by San Jose to slow down the game, kind of stay in front of the ball, any of that?
I think the referees have to figure out a feel for the game. It seemed like to me that every time a player from the Seattle Sounders was receiving a pass with their back to goal, they got fouled. And at some point, that had to stop. Now, I will say that it's up to us to make sure that if a ball is coming into one of our players, that he has 2 options, that he can lay the ball off first time so he doesn't get fouled. So I can't blame the referees for everything. And I can't blame the other team because the other team, they play the way they do. I only control our team. And so the message is, yes, you have to play through some of those things, some of those tactics, some of those non-calls or non-yellow cards or whatever you want to call it. But we have to do better in those situations as well.
John?
Coach, after LAFC now tonight, it's been 6 goals in 2 games after only conceding 5 in your first 6. Is there any reason for concern with the team's defensive performance in these 2 games? And is there anything that you noticed that's caused that lapse in defense?
I'm going to try and find that out and fix it. I think the first goal, give Salinas some credit. Why did we give up the counterattack? We played into their hands. All of those sort of team things, all certainly contemplate. The second one, we were down a guy. That was a disastrous situation. Should have done better there to clean that up. But yes, I am concerned about the goals that we're giving up. Absolutely.
Other first-time questions before follow-ups? Okay, Jeremiah, go ahead with follow-ups.
Yeah, I'm sure you're happy with the way, you said you're happy with the way the team responded, but does this still feel more like 2 points dropped than no points?
Absolutely. It is absolutely 2 points dropped. The only thing that jumps into my mind is Handwalla's header at the back post. I got to see that one again, how he could miss or how the goalie saved it. I mean, Steph saved us a couple times too, so I should say that, maybe we were fortunate not to lose all points. But fact of the matter is I thought we put enough pressure on them once we got kind of things steamrolling there. I thought we put enough pressure on them to get the 3rd goal. Absolutely.
Mickey?
Another few injuries caused some changes in the second half. What's your thought on how the team's feeling, and how did the substitutes do? Look, they obviously came in and provided some a boost to the team.
Subs came on and played well. We got some injuries, but that's MLS. It's a long season. We'll be fine. Those guys will be back soon.
Mark?
Handwalla had a really influential game, took twice as many shots as anybody else on your team. What were the instructions that you gave to him for his first start on the year, and how do you assess his performance? His performance was good. I think with a little more polish. I don't mind the fact that he was shooting that much, but as his legs got heavy in the second half, he can bait a guy because it looks like he's going to shoot, and then pass in a little give and go or some creative movement like that might open things up for him a little bit. So, some of those little nuances of the game will come to him because you guys saw what he brings. I mean, he's a very good 1v1 player. And that's why we had him on the field, because against that team that's, man-for-man marking, you get past your guy, then you gain an advantage. Then someone else has to come, and then it starts that chain reaction again. So I thought the kid played well.
Ari?
Looking ahead to LAFC, what are the challenges that come with playing a team twice in 1 week, especially a team as good as they've looked? And then do you have any updates on Raul or Will ahead of that game?
Those guys will be day to day. And, the challenge is, we're playing against, arguably the best team to start the season. And we'll have to just, figure out who's got what little dings, who can play, lineups, that kind of stuff. That'll be the main thing. And then recovery for the guys that, have played 90 minutes twice. For Kelvin, for Kim. Well, Kim didn't play 90, but Christian, Nico, some of those guys that have a lot of wear and tear because of these first 2 games. We'll have to get the physical recovery right, and then whoever we put on the field on Sunday, they'll give it a go. They all still remember that game 4-1.
Jada?
Do you have an early read on Victor and Gustav as far as the apparent injuries?
Victor is still going on testing. He is not in concussion protocol, and Gustav has a left hamstring strain, and Nuhu has a left ankle sprain. But all those guys are tough kids, and we will figure out if they can provide us minutes on Sunday as the week goes forward.
John, you still have one?
Yeah, Coach, you kind of alluded to earlier, you did make a lot of tactical changes. How well do you feel the team executed those changes in that game plan? How comfortable do you feel like they
First 17 minutes, we should have been up by a couple, to use Jeremiah's number. You know, the first half, I thought we were in control in large parts of the game, but then we gave up a goal, and then they were able to dictate tempo, slow the game down, get us out of our rhythm with the fouls. It was challenging after that.
Maz?
Yeah, gritty game. I know it's a team game, but Nicholas Fladero just seemed to kind of, have that drive and fire, regardless of where you put him. Just kind of what you're expecting from the captain and the leader.
Obviously, there's a lot of guys that did that. Nico certainly wears his emotions on his sleeve. You guys saw the emotion he had out there in the game, but there's other guys that put it in today too. Everybody on that squad, I think, wanted to win the game. They were doing whatever they could physically to win the game. So he's a good leader by example. But I think we got a lot of those guys out there. Steph doesn't run around a lot, but he leads by example every single game. Some of those saves he made at the end, critical.
Others? Jeremiah, you still have one? No? Jenny, you want the last word? Yeah, go for it.
Well, just to clarify, so Brad, you pulled him because of the way that San Jose plays? Is that to understand Brad Smith?
Brad Smith? No, that was just rotation. Knew who's a very good player. We're just rotating.